What's good with the people? It's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. You know what I'm talking about? How's y'all doing on this Tales of Tragedy Tuesday? You know what I'm talking about, man? What's good, people like hee hee ha ha? You know what I'm talking about? Ken in the pen, man. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, man. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on the top of that thing. Keep that head up, keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Did I say Ken in the pen? I don't know, but if I didn't, go get that stick up in stores now, man. You can go get you one off of MacArthur 76, Giants Liquor. You can go get you one off of 82nd Hillside Barbershop. You know what I'm talking about? They say somebody put them in their stores in the hundreds. Thank you, young man. Now you know. Thank you, young man. Now you know how Baby Cuz got them things. You know what I'm talking about? Baby Cuz got them. You know what I'm talking about? You can come get them from Baby Cuz. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see them? You know what I'm talking about? But if all else fails, man, you can go and get you one off of Amazon. Make sure you get you a hardback. You know what I'm talking about? Funkadelic trying in stores now also, you know what I'm talking about? You can go get one of the things off Amazon, make sure you get you a hardback. You know what I'm talking about? Stick Up 2 coming real soon. Funkadelic trying 2 coming real soon. You know what I'm talking about? Uh-oh. What's that? Swing that finger, young man. You know what I'm talking about? Worldwide INC, man. Worldwide Incorporated, man. They gonna say, Baby Cuz, what does that mean? I'm gonna tell you it means everybody. You know what I'm talking about, man. And Dugu, Fresh, Mike, Lil Rue, not Lil Rube. Lil Rue, you know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next, man. Same thing, man. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, man. On from the bottom of that thing to the top of that thing, keep that head up, keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get through them disclaimers. Now, good brother like myself, I don't promote no drug usage. Good brother like myself, I don't promote no drug sellers. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, I don't promote no alcohol consumption. No. You know what I'm talking about? Don't take a sip of the sippers. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no crime. I don't promote no violence. I don't promote no domestic violence. You know what I'm talking about? Keep your hands off the people. You don't talk about you don't talk about don't, you know what I'm talking about? Promote, you know what I'm talking about? No. Negativity. You know what I'm talking about? Me, man, I don't promote shit. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me, I'm looking dead in your face and tell you I don't promote shit. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, shit. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, you know what I'm talking about? Me, all I promote is y'all go ahead and do what you're gonna do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing to do with it. We don't know how much we got, people, you know what I'm talking about? But a good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't prejudiced, you know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't got nothing against the sexually different, you know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't got no, I ain't got nothing against the little people, you know what I'm talking about? Nah, you know what I'm talking about? Mama saying, mama always say, boy, brush your whiskers when you on TV. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing wrong with nobody. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, you know what I'm talking about? I loves everybody. You know what I'm talking about? As a matter of fact, I'm on a quest. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. You know what I'm talking about? That joy. You know what I'm talking about? And that love. You know what I'm talking about? That love. Back to the YouTube community, man. You with me? Come on over here, fuck with your partner, man. Hey, check it out, man. Come fuck with a nigga one time. You know what I'm talking about, man? What's good with the people, man? How's y'all doing out there, man? Shout out to all the bitches who ain't never been in the streets but still got bodies. You know what I'm talking? Don't make me mad. I see you fucking, you know what I'm talking about? Say, bro, what you coming over here talking about today, man? This should be a short one, man. We're going to call it Tales of Tragedy, man. Say, bro, what is you talking about, man? Now, look, I've been peeped it, right? I've been peeped it when I was littler, man. You know what I'm talking about? But it's, since we living in just a whole different world these days and times, you know what I'm talking about? Them tales of tragedy, you know what I'm talking about? Now, once again, I ain't talking about nobody really suffering from something that's fucking them up, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about that shit. I'm talking about the other shit, you know what I'm talking about, man? Where, no matter what you do, you could just break out your tales of tragedy, then all of a sudden everything is good no matter what you did. You know what I'm talking about? Because like I said, we living in the books, for all you church people, we living in the books of rationalizations. That's what books we in, you know what I'm talking about? And in today's world, bruh, nephew, sis, ooh, man, ooh, lady, you know what I'm talking about? In today's world, y'all know it ain't no accountability. So you could just run around, do whatever the fuck you want to, you know what I'm talking about? Then just turn around after you done caused all this chaos and all this old bullshit that you done stirred up. You could turn right around and play victim. You get what I'm saying? You could turn right around and say some shit like, can't nobody judge me but God and all this old shit, you know what I mean? You could turn right around and get to crying about something that happened to you when you was little after you did all this chaos. And I was just sitting here thinking, man, and I'm telling you, like, ever since I've been little, man, I've just, I've never seen nobody use God or their tragedy not to do no bullshit. And I used to always think about that when I used to hear people say that shit, man, because I know 4 or 5 people, man, just come off the top of my head, 4 or 5 people, man, that did the exact same shit every time, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they would go do some bullshit. Then when you, like when you question them about the bullshit, that's when the tales of tragedy come out. So I guess you did that bullshit because of what happened to you when you was young. But I've never heard nobody use God or they tales of tragedy to stop them from doing anything. I've never heard nobody say that. Like, only God could judge me, you know what I'm talking about? So God looking at me right now, so I'm not finna do this bullshit. You know, I've never heard nobody use God nor they tales of tragedy to stop them from doing no bullshit. I've only heard people use that shit after they've been caught doing something, you know what I mean? And that was they, I guess, get out of jail free card, you know what I mean? And I'm just wondering, like, if all this shit, like, both of them, if you believe in God and these tales of tragedy, like, if this shit is really, like that, why you ain't never used that shit not to do no bullshit? I've never heard nobody say, like, I've never heard nobody, you like, you know, like, I seen motherfuckers get pregnant early, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't never heard nobody use they tales of tragedy not to fuck or use God not to fuck, you know what I mean? I've never heard nobody say, you know what, nope, God watching me, I've been through a lot, I'ma hold on here, you know what I mean? I've never seen nobody use they tales of tragedy or God to stop them from doing some bullshit. I've only heard people use that shit after they get caught doing some bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Because we just living in the days of the rationalization today's days. You know what I mean, man? So, like, just living in the days where the bitch act like a hoe, but she wants to be called the queen. You know what I mean? You can go do all this old damaging shit and, like, because I've seen it in my own family, man. For real. I done pulled the motherfucker to the side, like, check this out, man. Like, what you doing, that ain't really, motherly, like, you know what I mean? And then the motherfucker took my words because all they heard was a motherfucker saying you're not a good mother. But I've never said that. You get what I'm saying? But all that was is the guilt that you know you not. You get what I'm saying? So then when somebody brings something to your attention, you play the switcheroo. That's that turntable shit I was telling you about where they just, you know what I mean? They wiggle out of the accountability by saying, oh, you're being mean or you're talking to me now. You know what I mean? It ain't about what you did. You know what I mean? But if I say something about what you did, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, you get to be victim. So you just never get the hell. You never get held for accountability. You just don't. Because you get to do, like, you get to go out there and do whatever you want to do. Then if somebody be like, man, you need to tighten that up, then you get to get an attitude about what they said. You get what I'm saying? Now, they picking on you. So whatever you did just never comes across the board. That never gets spoken on. And I think that's what's wrong with so many people. I just do. Niggas and bitches, nephew, sis, old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? Because you live your whole life wiggling out of accountability. And when you, like, you got to realize, like, if you're sitting there telling yourself you ain't did nothing wrong in your head, you don't feel that you've done anything wrong. You get what I'm saying? So you just get to live a whole life making excuses for the shit you do. You get what I'm saying? Because you could tell a motherfucker right now, like, you could look at a motherfucker, because I know several motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you, man, that the only time you see them with their kids is when they taking a picture. You get what I'm saying? Then they gonna drop their kids right back off. But they want a high side on the, I guess the internet, the social media or whatever. Like look at my kids, they dress. But you want to perk, like you want to create the idea like you just the best motherfucking parent when really you just not. You get what I'm saying? You really you busy living your own life. Then I brought that up to one of my family members, man, and she got furious. You get what I'm saying? She got furious, you know what I mean? Because now I'm talking about her. Now I'm calling her a bad mama. Now I'm calling her all this, when all that shit is just a deflection. Now you want to go into the tales of tragedy and all this. Well, why don't that shit work when you're not being a good mother? Why don't your tales of tragedy or God help you be a better person? But it don't. And that's what I be telling you, man, because people have been conditioned to use that shit as a deflection. They just use it as a shield. You know what I'm talking about? That's all they've ever been able to do, to wiggle out of accountability for what they're doing. Because nobody ever wants to be called a bad mama or a hoe or A nigga don't want to be called a bitch. Or like, nobody ever wants to be called anything. You know what I'm talking about? But they still want to continue the actions of a bitch ass nigga or a bad mama or a hoe or whatever you call it. Motherfuckers want to indulge in these actions. And then if you call a motherfucker out on it, they get to tell you some other shit that don't have nothing to do with what they just did. They gonna make it seem like whatever happened to them as a little kid is the reason they doing this shit. Or something that happened in the past. They gonna act like everything else is the reason for them doing this except they goddamn choice. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ever just gonna stand up and say, I choose to do this. You get what I'm saying? And that should be crazy as a motherfucker. It just do. It's crazy how men think preferred to how women think. They gonna say, bro, you getting in there? Because I ain't in the war on the niggas and the bitches. I thought I already told y'all that. I'm not. But it still amazes me how women think. That's why, like, somebody just put something up. But, like, if you just, like, on your phone, you'll see a bunch of wives in today's time, you know what I mean, on the internet. And you will see them complaining and shit and, like, my marriage ain't this. But anytime you listen to one of them bitches talk, and they say, well, what can fix your marriage? Listen to what the bitches say. The bitches ain't gonna say one thing that they can do. You get what I'm saying? Everything that the bitch say that can fix her marriage has to be done by this nigga. Well, if he do, do you realize it has to be an energy reciprocated? Like a motherfucker say, shit ain't the same no more. How is something gonna be the same when a nigga view you as when a motherfucker view you as irritating? Like, I don't even want to be with this bitch no more. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what the husband thinking, like, this bitch ain't even worth nothing. All you do is complain. All you do is nag. All you do is try to do shit to get away with it. Like, that been to burnt the nigga out. But the bitch act like all the nigga has to do is, like, when we first met, he did this. Bitch, when y'all first probably met, your motherfucking mouth probably wasn't that bad, bitch. When y'all first met, you probably did a lot of shit. It probably was some good energy. Because you can't, because bitches sit around and, I don't want to say talk shit, but bitches sit around and they say little shit and they do little shit that would kill a nigga whole energy. Nigga just don't want to be around that shit no more. But a bitch act like, oh man, I see this with my partner all the time, man. I swear to God. A bitch act like, I'm going to sit here and cuss you out, then we still supposed to go to the movies. Fuck that I just cussed you out. You get what I'm saying? We still supposed to go partake in whatever we was finna do before I just open my bullshit ass mouth. So you just supposed to forget all that and just, because a bitch is always on what she want, and a bitch don't even know what she want. She don't. That's why these bitches get hella old and they life be in turmoil still, folks. They just do, because a bitch don't know what she want. And she lives a whole life not knowing what she want, because she just wants something at that moment. And most of the time when a bitch wants something at that moment, that's what she gonna go for. But she gonna have a whole life of that shit right there. So when she get about 36, 37, damn near 40 years old, man, it's just gonna be a old ass misguided bitch. You know what I'm saying? Same with the niggas too. Old ass misguided motherfuckers who don't know how to hustle or take accountability to do nothing. They just sit around and wait for everybody else to do it for them. Nigga don't know how to do nothing. You get what I'm saying? Nigga can't cook, clean himself. He need a bitch for everything. And that's why you see bitches and niggas go from one person to the next person. Like, if you just think about that, like that shit right there is a mental issue. You get what I'm saying? There's no way in the world you could jump from people to people. You know what I'm talking about? You got to give yourself a break from the shit you just went through with this motherfucker. But motherfuckers just leech on to the next motherfucker. That's because the whatever them issues called, that's what they got. But tales of tragedy go just like that, folks. It just do. Like, since I've been living, niggas and bitches, folks. Motherfucker get caught doing some bullshit, then they cry victim. Like, they start wanting to go back to what happened to them as a little kid, and they want to, only God could judge me. And I done told y'all about this, and this is like, I ain't on church people or whatever. But a lot of people like church and that Bible shit, man, because the end game is forgiveness. So people walk around just doing whatever the fuck they want to do on the world with the motherfucking belief that no matter what I do, God gonna forgive me. So I could just go do all this shit and say, God forgive me. And my sins, you feel me? And people play on that the wrong way. And them be the people who be playing with the Bible. Because motherfucker act like God not watching you do that bullshit. And a lot of people just shit, because I'm telling you, man, I know two of them on the top of my head, man. I know two bitches that just sit around talking about God gonna send them a man. And the reason they can't keep a man is because they self. Because ain't no nigga just finna sit around and deal with your bullshit. Nigga ain't. Just like a bitch. A bitch ain't finna sit around and deal with a nigga bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you the difference right there. the like if a nigga on some bullshit, the nigga ain't gonna have no hustle. The nigga sitting around there, he using you. He just, you know what I mean. The nigga don't bring nothing to the table, no ideas or nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Now that might be a useless nigga, but what I'm realizing in today's world that on the accountability, like a lot of these bitches be saying niggas don't like ain't nothing, but it don't have like the nigga really be a good nigga. You get what I'm saying? The nigga just could see the bullshit that the bitch doing. So every time the bitch get called out on her bullshit, she tries to create a narrative like the nigga ain't nothing. You know what I mean? When really the nigga just up on your game. You get what I'm saying? But you'll try to paint another picture like the narrative like the nigga ain't nothing now because he done caught you doing whatever hoe shit that you be doing or doing whatever bad mom shit you be doing or just whatever bullshit that you be on. You know what I mean? Because in today's world, on some real shit, man, people, they watch their phone more than they watch their kids, man. You feel me? They just do. They watch their phone more than they watch their kids. And if you bring that to somebody's attention, they will sit there and cry. Talking about, I'm not a bad parent. See, everybody wants to deem themselves something good. You get what I'm saying? Everybody wants to deem themselves a good parent. Everybody wants to deem themselves a real nigga. Everybody wants to deem themselves a boss bitch. You know what I'm saying? But like, it ain't in the words, man. It's in the actions. You get what I'm saying? That's why if you watch somebody's actions, their words will never fool you. And people don't understand that. You get what I'm saying? Because people always want to tell you something. They don't want to show and prove in their actions. They just always want to tell you something. That's why I say, man, just watch people's actions and their words and never fool you. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? But Brett came up here today because it's just too much of that shit floating around in the real world. I don't give a fuck where you go. Church, work, the streets. It's just too much where everybody is doing some fake shit and wants to be celebrated. Nobody wants to be called out on their fake shit. You get what I'm saying? And the moment you call somebody out on their fake shit, all of a sudden you're being mean. They go into like acting like a little kid. Why are you being mean to me? Why are you doing this? And I'm telling you, I told my own family member. You know what I'm talking about? What you do with your time is what you do with your life. You get what I'm saying? So if you running around here and you doing hoe shit and somebody call you a hoe, you can't get mad. You just can't get mad. And that's killed me because a motherfucker they don't have no problems with the actions of being the hoe. You get what I'm saying? They don't have no problem like that. The problem only come in if you call them a hoe. But they had no problem running around doing hoe shit. And that's the killer in the world to me, man. Because nobody ever has a problem of doing the fake police, bitch shit, hoe shit, sucker shit. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody ever has the problem doing the actions. But they have the problem when you call that shit what it is. That's when the problem come back, because now you're being mean or you're talking about somebody. That's what I'm telling you, man. We done got a little soft around the edges. And we living in the book of rationalizations. So now you could just run around and do anything, and then if somebody say something to you about it, you get to play victim. You can get to talking about what happened to you when you was little and this tragic shit and this. And I'm just here to tell you, man, I done seen too many times, bro. Like, people don't care about that shit. That shit don't be on their mind like that, what happened to them, bruh. They just so conditioned and used to using that shit as a deflection and a shield, it's became they normal. That's became they get out of jail free card. So whenever the conversation get intense or some blame getting passed right there, you can morph back into some shit that happened to you when you was little, or you could morph into only God can judge me and all this shit, you know what I mean? And that's where the real, like the imbalance coming in at in the world. Because nobody is you can't hold nobody accountable no more. They can just come with tales of tragedy, you know what I mean? Or they can come with God loves everybody or some shit like that, and now you don't have to be accountable for what the fuck you just did. You can just always wiggle out, you know what I mean? I act like this because what happened to me when I was little. That shit just bullshit, and I'm here to tell you, you know what I'm talking about? Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about, man? You gotta be accountable. If you do something, nigga, you gonna have to stand up. Every time I went to jail, bruh, I had to be accountable for what I did. Did years. You know what I'm talking about? I had to be accountable, bruh. I couldn't go up there to the judge and talking about I had a rough child. They don't care about that shit, bruh. They gonna hold you accountable. They just is, man. So the people need to start holding themselves accountable. That's all I say, man. Stop coming with all that bullshit when you get caught doing that bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. And with that one right there, I'm up out of here, man. But you don't remember nothing else. Always remember, it don't cost nothing. Just to show a little bit of that love.